There we go. Okay, class. So we actually skipped our first stability ball warm-up on Monday because we weren't here on Monday. But I would like us to go ahead with our second stability ball warm-up that I have on our plan today. Now, as always, class, we do not need to be using the stability ball for this one. We can always sit in a chair, okay? That depends on your comfortability level, whether or not you have a stability ball, right? Whether or not you like it. So just keep that in mind. Now, if we're sitting on the stability ball here, class, we can incorporate a little bit of bouncing, okay? Now, if the bouncing makes you uncomfortable, you can just sit on your ball. I think that there is an added benefit to sitting on the ball and maintaining your posture, as it's gonna make you use your core and leg muscles a little bit more so than sitting in the chair might, okay? But again, you do whatever is most comfortable for you. The bouncing is going to increase a little bit more activation in the legs, all right? Might even burn a little bit more energy there too. All right, so with this first exercise here, class, we're just gonna go for about 20 or so seconds with each movement, and then we're gonna move into our balance, all right? So I'm gonna start off with my neck rolls. I'm sitting on my ball or in my chair, maintaining a bounce or not, and I'm just gonna draw big circles in the air with my chin. All right, we're just gonna go for about 20 seconds in each direction here, class. Just gonna get nice and loose here. There we go. Now I wanna go a little bit quicker through this warm-up today. 3, 2, 1, relax. Let's go ahead and go the other direction here, class. Again, we're drawing big circles with the chin because we want to get a large range of motion with the neck. With this one, you wanna be going to a point of mild discomfort, not pain. Make sure that we're breathing here as well, class. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. From here, I want to go into our posterior shoulder roll. So if I'm going to turn to the side, all right, I'm maintaining my posture, and we're just going to draw circles in the air now. Rolling our shoulders backward. You can get a pause in your good posture position, right? When you have your shoulders pinched back and you have your chest pushed out. Pause in that position and then move on into the next roll. We'll go for about 15 more seconds. There we go. We want to work on getting those shoulder blades to move down and back. Remember, we don't want to roll forward because that kind of promotes the poor posture position that we are trying to avoid. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. All right, now let's get a little bit more dynamic with this warm-up here, class. I want to go into our arm circles. So once again, 20 seconds. I'm going to get my arms out ahead of me here, or out to the side, sorry. We're just going to draw big circles here. Remember to get larger and larger as we go. If you're sitting on your ball and maintaining some bounces here, class, remember it can be kind of difficult to kind of time the bounce with the movement of the arms there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Let those arms come down and dangle just for a second. Now, let's do the same thing, go in the other direction. All right, starting off small, and then we're gonna get larger and larger as we go. Going through a full comfortable range of motion. You can probably feel your shoulder blades trying to pinch together as you get larger and larger and you're starting to go backwards there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Let those arms dangle a little bit here. From here, class, I want to go into our arm swings, okay? And these are going to be the same arm swings that we've done in the standing warm-ups. I'm going to turn my thumbs down as I close, point my thumbs up as I open the chest back up, all right? Go ahead for about 20 seconds here, getting a little bit more shoulder pinching once again. Remember, I want that rotation to go all the way from the fingertips to the shoulders, right? We're not just gonna turn the hands or turn the forearms. We want everything all the way up to the rotator cuff and the shoulder working through this motion. 3, 2, 1, relax, very good. Let those arms come down and dangle. Next one here, class, vertical reaches, okay? Remember that we are working our shoulders through all 3 planes of motion here. So now I'm going to reach straight up and alternate. Get a little bit of a twist toward that reach there. So I'm reaching with the left arm. I'm going to get a slight rotation to the left and vice versa. We will expand on that rotation as we go. Very good. Remember, this slight rotation opens up the chest a little bit more as well. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now from here, class, I want to start to have the warm-up move down the body. All right? So I'm going to turn that rotation from the vertical reaches into a torso twist. Now, if you remember, I want to get my elbows up here. It's almost like I'm holding my weight in front of my chest in a goblet squat. And I'm going to keep my lower body facing you all on the camera while I turn my chest about 90 degrees to the wall on that side of me. Turn my chest over to the wall on the other side of my body. And I'm going to keep going between those 2 positions. I want the elbows to drive that rotation, right? It's like we're elbowing somebody behind us in basketball repeatedly, right? Right before we get ejected. If you're getting dizzy, you can focus on a stationary point out in front of you, just like I am. I'm just staring at myself and the camera there. We want to be able to dissociate lower body rotation from upper body rotation. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now, let's turn that twisting into a cross body punch motion, right? That exercise that we do every once in a while with our cardio. So from here, I'm just going to get a nice punch out in front of me. I'm going to punch my right arm to the left and then my left arm to the right, right? I'm crossing my body. My belly button is going to follow that fist, all right? Belly button is following the fist. Get that good rotation. Remember to punch out to shoulder height here, class. That way we remember to keep our posture, right? If you're starting to punch down here, that means you might be starting to slouch. Keep that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth here, class. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now from here, class, I'm going to roll backwards a little bit, and we're going to focus on the lower body, okay? Now these ones especially, we might be a little bit more comfortable in a chair, okay? We're going to have a balance challenge here with trying to keep the body on the ball, so just keep that in mind. Our first exercise here is going to be a heel dig, okay? So I'm going to start on my right foot. I'm going to stick my leg out, dig the heel in, and then alternate, okay? Going left and then right. I can kind of see my feet there. Hopefully you all can see my legs going out. I'm just kicking straight out in front of me there, okay? So that balance challenge comes in as I lift my leg from the floor and press my heel out in front of my body on the floor. If I want to make this tougher, class, I can turn this into a kick, all right, rather than just a heel dig, all right? So keep that in mind. We can do a kick or the dig. We'll go for about 15 more seconds here, class. Keep your breathing, keep your posture, right? Stay upright, whether we're in the chair or on the ball, and whether or not we're bouncing or just sitting on the ball. Keep that posture. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now from here, class, we just got our forward, backward. Let's get our side to side. So now I'm going to do that same heel dig. I'll back up a little bit more here. We're going to do that same heel dig out to the side, okay? So think about, it's almost like you're trying to get a little bit of a groin stretch here, okay? It doesn't have to be to the same pace that I'm doing it here. Just stick one leg out to the side And then alternate. Remember, we can turn this one into a kick here as well, kind of like your half jack or your jumping jack. There we go. Try to keep the body centered over the ball. You're going to move around a little bit with this one. Your brain is trying to accommodate for your loss of stability when you lift that leg. About 10 more seconds here, class. I'm going to go back to the heel dig for the last 10 seconds. Very good. We got one more exercise after this. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now from here, class, I want to finish up with our half jack or jumping jack progression. So on the ball, we can just sit on the ball or we can bounce as always. And I'm going to incorporate my arm motion. Okay? So just like we're doing the half jack there, we're going to go, we can go one arm. We can go one arm on each side. We can go both arms. Now at the legs, if I want to, I can stick a leg out. Okay? Bring an arm up and stick one leg up at a time. If I'm feeling really adventurous, I can do my full jumping jack, both legs coming out. All right? So pick whatever you're most comfortable with your class. We're going to go for 20 seconds with this. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. Some nice little cardio warm up here, going through some of our ranges of motion that we'll do in our workout. This is my favorite warm up to run for the online and for the face-to-face. I hope that you all enjoy it as well. Keep that breathing here, class. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. I'm going to rise up for my stability ball. Now, if you were bouncing on that ball, you might feel your muscles here have been working a little bit. I certainly do. I was one of those kids that maybe was a little bit more hyperactive in school and probably should have been sitting on a ball like that rather than a chair. I could bounce on that ball for an hour and not get sick of it. But anyway, class, actually I need that chair. We're going to go into our balance progression here. And I'm going to grab my stopwatch out. Really quickly, I'm going to talk about those 4 stances once again. Those 4 stances are the same, okay? We have our wide stance, and I'll use my hands again, right? Wide stance, narrow stance, staggered stance, tandem, okay? 4 sets, you can switch your feet. Now, we're going to stick with the unilateral. One arm up, one arm down. The progression from that is going to be the 12-inch finger focus, okay? So we are working on holding a finger out in front of us, and that is going to restrict our vision. It's going to force the other balance systems in our body to work harder and make them better, okay? So that's our other option. We got the arm up or the finger focus, all right? If you really want to do the 2 arms up and down, go ahead and do whatever is most comfortable. Just remember, we're really working on this one and the 12-inch finger, okay? So pick your stance here, class. I'm going to go with the wide stance to start, and I'm going to go with the unilateral arms. We're going to get started with 20 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Have a chair or a wall next to you, just in case you need that extra balance support. And remember to do whichever exercise is most appropriate for you here, not just the one that I'm doing. Checking my time. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now from here, class, I'm going to go with the narrow stance, okay? And I'm going to do the 12-inch finger focus. So 20 more seconds here. Go ahead and start. It doesn't have to be perfectly 12 inches in front. Just hold that finger out in front of your face and focus both your eyeballs on it. Try to keep it as still as you can. Force the rest of your body to balance itself while your vision is restricted. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, for set number 3, I know I'm going a little quicker today. For set number 3, I'm going to do the staggered stance. If you've been doing staggered and tandem all along, Again, feel free to switch your feet up. I'm going to go with the unilateral arm now in the staggered stance, okay? Just to kind of keep demonstrating different things. So let's get our third set in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. There we go. I definitely feel my balance being challenged when I have my left foot forward in my staggered stance and I bring my right arm up, because I don't have that support in the front of my body that I do on the left when my right arm goes up. And I feel my center of motion begin to sway forward slightly. 3, 2, 1, relax, very good. Now for the last set here, class, I'm going to go tandem, and I'm going to go 12-inch finger focus here, okay? Again, you do whatever is most appropriate for you. We got our last set in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Remember, you can switch which arm you hold out in front of you too, in case your shoulder's getting tired. Checking my time. I should just do this. There we go. Instead of holding my finger out in front, I'll hold my stopwatch and focus on that. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. So that's our balance for today. All right, let me know if you have any feedback on that balance stuff. I'd love to hear it. Let's move into our power exercises. And similar to the balance stuff, I'd like to know how you feel about the power exercises. If you remember, we have our pillow slams and then our toe taps with a freeze, okay? The pillow slam is meant to get the upper body power, those fast muscle contractions in the upper body muscles, and the toe taps or leg swings with freeze is meant to create quick stabilization, okay? Because deceleration is also a part of power, right? Being able to stabilize yourself quickly, okay? Now, we're gonna do 2 sets of 8 on the pillow slam. We'll do 2 sets of 30 seconds on each leg for the toe taps or leg swings with a freeze, all right? Now, just remember on the pillow slam here, class, we can either slam this pillow to a chair. That way we don't have to pick it up off the floor every time if you don't want to do that. Or we can slam it to the ground and work on our deadlift position. And spoiler alert, if you got that email from last night, I know I sent it kind of late last night, but hopefully you all saw my email about the laundry basket, right? We're going to be doing our deadlift today. So not only will this pillow slam to the floor be a good power exercise, but it's going to be a great warm-up and practice for our deadlift, right? Shoving the knees out, keeping the back nice and flat. We're dropping the hips and just picking that pillow up off the floor, okay? A lot of activities of daily living that involve picking things up off the ground, right? So let's start off with that pillow slam. I got my chair in front of me. That's where I'm going to slam the pillow to start, okay? You've got 8 of them. We're going to go ahead and get started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? I'm coming up overhead and slamming it back down. All right? Make as big of a noise as you're comfortable there, class. Next one, coming up, back down. That's 2. The bigger the slam, the more powerful the muscle contraction. That's 3. Uh-oh, my pillowcase is coming off. 5 more here, class. Ready? That's 4. Uh-oh. There we go. 5. This thing's coming right off the chair. 3 more here, class. Ready? 6. There we go. Overhead. 7. Last one here, class. Ready? And 8. All righty. I wonder if the people in the exercise clinic can hear my pillows landing on the ground. Hopefully, none of you live like maybe in like an apartment or something like that, and you have people who live beneath you. They might be wondering what you're doing up there. All right, but let's go into our toe taps and leg swings. Now remember, the toe tap, we're only going to do forward, backward right now. Okay, so just from the side here, this is my right leg. I'm going tap in front, tap behind, and then freeze or leg swing. Remember, we want to accentuate the back part of the swing, make those glutes and hamstrings work here as well, okay? So don't just kick as far out in front as you can, get back as well. Now, got my chair and my wall. We're gonna go ahead and get started for 30 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. I'm gonna go with the tap to start. Freeze. Go. Only about 1 or 2 seconds on the freeze there, class. Freeze. Go. Freeze. Go. About 7 seconds left. Freeze. Go. And relax. Very nice job there, class. Let's get the opposite leg, okay? Whichever leg you didn't do for the last set, remember to have that chair next to you if you need it. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Toe tap or leg swing. I'll do the leg swing for the second half. Freeze. Go. Freeze. Go. Checking my time. We've got 10 seconds left. Freeze. Go. Freeze. Go. And relax. Very good. Now, those of you who are a lot more experienced with that one, because we've done it a couple times, will remember that sometimes I like to get 2 consecutive freezes, right? I want to catch you off guard on purpose. Whether or not I do a good job of that, I don't know, all right? But that's the whole part about being able to stabilize quickly. You don't know when you're gonna have to stabilize yourself, when you're walking outside, when you're going up the stairs in your house. So that's my job there, is to try to catch you off guard and simulate that situation, okay? Now, I'm gonna do the pillow slam without the chair. That way we can do our little bit more deadlift practice, okay? But you continue to do whatever is most comfortable for you. So we have 8 more slams here. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? I'm coming up. That's 1. Bend down, keep the back flat, chest up, eyes up. Come right back up, just like on that deadlift. Ready? That's 2. 3. That's 4. Chest up, eyes up. Ready? Halfway through. That's 5. 6. Keep those knees shoved out. I'll turn to the front. 7. Shoving those knees out as you come down. And 8. Nice job. I think that was 8. So, I might want to rethink what pillow I use here. This pillowcase isn't seeming to stay with it. But nice job on that last set, class. Let's find our chair or our wall back one last time. And just like I said before, class, I'm going to go with the leg swing this time, and I'll actually do a side view here, okay? So, we're going to go ahead and get started. 30 more seconds on each leg in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Freeze. Go. Freeze. Go. Keep it up. We're halfway through on this first set. Freeze. Go. Freeze. Go. Nice job. And relax. Very good. Now let's switch legs. That means I'm switching sides, and I'm gonna make sure these dumbbells aren't underneath my feet. There we go. Don't wanna trip in front of everybody. Let's get the other 30 seconds here in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Go ahead. Freeze. Go. Freeze. Go. Nice job, halfway through. Freeze. Go. Freeze. Go. And relax. Very good. So that's our power for the day, class. We're moving right along here. I want to go into our first resistance training set. All right. So our first exercise for the resistance training is going to be our forward, backward steps. Now, if you remember from doing this about 2 weeks ago, this is going to be 2 sets of 30 seconds total. Okay, we're alternating. We're taking, hopefully we're working on larger steps, right? Because that catch step, right, we lean forward, we're working on getting longer functionally. I want that to translate and show up in this exercise. So instead of working on taking small little steps here, class, I want you to push yourself slightly out of your comfort zone and take a little bit bigger step. Apply a little more force to the floor to get back to your starting position, okay? That doesn't mean you have to go all the way down into a lunge here, okay? But you certainly can if you want to. Just finding a range of motion with that step that's going to create some knee bend for you, and that's going to force you to push off the ground to get back to where you started, okay? We'll go 30 seconds for both sets, and we will be alternating between right and left. Now, if you want to make this tougher, you can hold on to your lighter weights. I would do the lighter weights because this 30 seconds is a little bit longer span of time. This will make it tougher to get back to your starting position with your weights. I would hold them in a goblet hold like this, right? Just like on our squat, dumbbells are near the chest, elbows are flaring out there, okay? Now, the exercise I want to pair with that today is going to be our dumbbell fly. And I shouldn't have put these down because the dumbbell fly is also going to be an endurance set, okay? And for our endurance set today, I want to do 15 reps, all right? So, just really quickly, I'm going to find my athletic position. And I have a progression here that I want to make sure I talk about. I've got my hips and knees bent and I'm leaning forward. I don't have to be all the way down here, okay? But I want to make sure I'm not vertical either because that completely changes the exercise, okay? So get a nice bend forward, and I have my elbows bent at about 90. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, and now it looks like I'm in my goalpost position, doesn't it? Okay? I'm pinching my shoulders back, and then I'm closing my chest back up. Okay? That's the first progression there, class, that bent arm fly. Okay? If I want to make that tougher yet, I'm just going to straighten my arms out. Now it looks like I'm going to do my row here, okay? But now I'm just going to open up my chest the same way I did before, pinching my shoulders back on every rep. And now I've made this exercise a little bit tougher because that weight is now further from my center of mass, okay? That'll be 2 sets of 15 seconds on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set those weights down and I'm going to grab my stopwatch, okay? The stopwatch is going to be my weight for the forward backward steps, okay? Now, if you're holding weight, your light weight for the forward backward steps, you can just hold on to them and go right into your bent arm or straight arm fly, okay? But let's get our first set of 30 seconds on the forward backward steps in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Now remember, class, the difference between this exercise and the catch step is your brain is initiating this movement, okay? You know that you are going to take a step forward. In the catch step, I want you to lean forward and have it be gravity that initiates your forward movement, right? And the brain has to react to it. There's a big difference there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now from here, class, let's go into our dumbbell fly. I will do the bent arm progression For the first set, I'll do straight arm for the second. So find your athletic position, get that good lean, okay? We got 15 of these in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? I'm coming out, back in. That's 1. Pinch those shoulders on every rep. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very good. That's 1 set down on each exercise. Let's go back now to our forward-backward steps for 30 more seconds, okay? I'll do a frontal view here so I can talk about our knees again as well. Remember, when you take that step out, you want that knee aligned over the toes, right? We want to think about the skin on the outside of our knee being shoved out to the wall that's at your side, right? We want to avoid that caving in. You see how my knee is coming back in toward the center of my body. We want to shove that knee out over the toe, all right? We'll go for 30 more seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Be conscious of where that knee is going. Big steps. The brain is initiating this, not gravity here. You know that you are stepping forward. Here we go. Keep that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just like in our cardio, right? We used to do this one for cardio. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, our second and final set of the dumbbell fly. I'll go with a frontal view this time, class. All right? So, but just really quickly, the athletic position, find that good lean. I'm going straight arm here. We're going to go 15 reps in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Coming out and back in. That's 1. Pinch those shoulders back every rep. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 5 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Very good. Grab a sip of water for me here, class. Catch your breath if you need to. I'm going to go over our second resistance training set for the day. And you might already know, probably you do already know, what the lower body exercise is. And that's going to be our laundry basket deadlift, right? We already kind of practiced that. If you were slamming your pillow on the floor, you were hopefully practicing coming down, shoving the knees out, right? Getting the hips to come down, chest and eyes stay up, back is nice and flat, and we're picking that object right back up off the floor with a safe position. Now, remember, I don't have a laundry basket here, so we're just pretending that these are the handles of my basket, and I've got my basket kind of connecting the two objects here, okay? I'm going to address my laundry basket with my knees shoved out. Hopefully, if maybe you can read that on my shirt or not, but you should be able to see my chest as I get into this position, right? From the side here, we'll just pick the basket straight up and right back down, okay? We'll do 10 reps of that for 2 sets. Now, the upper body exercise that I want to pair with that is going to be our elevated push-up, okay? Now, that's only going to be 2 sets of 6 because push-ups can be a little tougher. I just want to talk about our form while we're doing this push-up and where exactly we can do it, okay? Remember, we can find a wall, okay? That's probably the easiest place to do your push-up because of how elevated it is, all right? So hopefully I'm in the camera. There we go. So I got my hands on my wall here. I'm walking my feet out, and I'm maintaining a plank position, right? I'm not allowing my hips to push out too far. I'm not letting my hips sink in. I'm trying to keep my body as flat as a PVC pipe, okay? I'm letting my chest come in, and I'm gonna push out away from that wall. Now notice my elbows here, and I might do a rear view, okay? Just for the sake of the arm position. Remember, class, that it is not optimal to have our elbows out here, okay? We don't wanna push with the elbows flaring out too far. I like to have the elbows stay in, okay? So I'm coming into my push-up, and I'm pushing back out. You see my elbows are staying. They're not right up next to my body here, but they're not flared out. They're kind of in the middle, and I'm pushing away from my object, okay? Now that was the wall. You can also do this on a chair, okay? Just make sure that your chair is going to be not sliding, okay? And I would do the seat of the chair, not the back of it, okay? Whatever other object you may or may not have at home, just make sure you are safe when you do this one. Got my hands on the edge here. I'm gonna maintain my plank and do the same thing. Coming down and back up, okay? Remember, that's just 6 reps because these are a little tougher movement. So let's get that out of the way. I wanna do our first set, of our deadlift, and I'll go with a frontal view to start, okay? So I have my laundry basket here, and hopefully you've placed some items into it so that you can make it as heavy as you wish, but we're gonna knock out 10 reps together here from our starting position in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? I'm coming up and back down. That's 1. Back up and back down. That's 2. Light touch on the ground. That's 3. You almost don't even want to make a sound. That's 4. When your basket touches the floor, make it a quiet touch. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Very good. Now, let's find that area in our house for our push-ups, okay? 6 reps. I'm just gonna go with my chair here. I really missed that black tile floor that was raised that would keep my chair from sliding, but I'm gonna do my best here, all right? So 6 reps at your own pace. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? I'm coming down and back up. That's 1. Oops. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Now, finish up that push-up here, class. I know that exercise, not all of us are gonna be going at the same pace, so I'll take a couple seconds here. I'm gonna go with the laundry basket deadlift on the side view for this last set, okay? I think the side view does the most justice for this exercise because it shows that starting position right here, right? Imagine picking up a grandchild right here, okay? This position, all right? Those grandkids can get kind of heavy, okay? So make sure we're practicing, we're keeping that in mind here as we go. Maybe we're helping somebody move, we're picking up a box, all right? We're carrying it inside the new house, okay? Let's get our last set of 10 here in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Coming up and back down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Very good. Now, while I'm moving these kettlebells out of the way, something else I just thought of was, you know, when thinking about picking something up, you know, you want to pick something up with good technique. You also want to set it down with good technique, right? Imagine you just picked up your grandchild really, really well, right? Your deadlift position was really good. Now you got to put it back down. If you don't stick with that proper deadlift position, you just decide to set them down like that. Now you put your back in a bad position, okay? So not only do you want to pick up with good position, you want to put things back down with good position. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about with that deadlift. It's the up and the back down, okay? Both parts of that contraction are important. So, push up, that's what it was. Push up here, class. One last set. We'll go 6 reps, and then we'll move on to our third resistance training set for the day. I'm gonna try to fit it in for us. So, I have my chair here. Go ahead and find your spot in your house. We're gonna knock out 6 reps in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Coming down and back up. That's 1, 2, 3, halfway through. 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Go ahead and finish up your push-ups there, class. Take your time on those. Try your best to get all 6. And then grab a sip of water here. I am really quickly going to make sure I know what I'm doing for my third set. Okay, so our first exercise here is going to be for the shoulder. Now, we are going to work the shoulder a little differently than we have in the past, okay? So I'm going to, oops, almost ended the meeting there by accident. That would have been bad. I'm going to show us an exercise called the upright row, okay? Now, I don't like the upright row unless you have good posture, okay? Because the upright row is an exercise, if you think about pouring a cup of coffee, okay? You've got your coffee pot, you have your cup, and you gotta lift that coffee pot up so that you can allow gravity to have the coffee move down into your cup, okay? So this is called internal rotation, right? We do this in the modified sleeper stretch because in most of our exercises, we are working our external rotators, right? That goalpost exercise is a good example of using that external rotation right here. Now, the opposite is that internal. So now we're gonna work the internal this way by doing that upright row. I've got my dumbbells here, and these are my heavier ones, okay? I want us to do our heavier weights here for this one. We're gonna do 8 reps of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my dumbbells like this here, almost like I'm doing my row, okay? But I'm showing everybody the backs of my hands, okay? So imagine I'm standing in front of you, you're showing me what the back of your hand looks like. I want you in not a full athletic position, but just so that you're not standing upright like this. This is the position I show my tennis kids when I'm basically kind of copying them when I watch what their ready position looks like, right? I hit them a tennis ball and they're standing there like this. So just as long as you're not standing like my tennis kids do, okay? So just get a nice knee and hip bend. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this up to my armpit. And you see, I got my elbows sticking up to the ceiling now, okay? And I'm in that coffee pot pouring position, okay? You slide those weights up, and we've got our coffee pot pouring position on both sides. That's gonna work our internal rotator muscles there, okay? Now, again, we want to make sure we have good posture when we're doing this, because what this can do is this can internally rotate the head of our upper arm bone. And if we have poor shoulder blade posture, right, if we've been doing our anterior shoulder rolls instead of our posterior shoulder rolls, we can create an impingement when that arm bone rotates and pinches things in between the shoulder blade and the arm bone up here, okay? That's why it's so important we do our posture work, okay? And if I wasn't confident in our posture work after all this time working on it, I wouldn't be doing this exercise, okay? So we're gonna do 2 sets of 8 for that upright row. Now, the exercise that I have for us to kind of pair with that is gonna be what we call a quadruped, okay? Now, some of you may have seen this as bird dog in yoga, okay? What I'm gonna do here is the elevated version. We also have the floor version, okay? So what I'm gonna do is get into my position almost as if I'm doing my modified burpee, okay? Remember that exercise where we step back and step up, or we jump back and jump up, okay? I'm gonna get into that position, but now I'm gonna walk my feet out slightly. Now from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stick one leg out and one arm up, okay? And I want it to be opposite. So I got my right leg going back and my left arm going up like this, okay? Then we'll come back down and we will alternate, okay? I'd like to do that one for 2 sets of 20 seconds. Now, a frontal view is a little tough with a chair, so I'll do my frontal view from the floor, okay? So if I'm on all fours on the floor here, I am going to lift my left leg, my left arm, and my right leg, okay? So that's my frontal view here. From the side, same thing. I've got 2 limbs still supporting me, and I'm coming right back down. Now this is a good core workout because we want to resist having our torso shift all over the place when we lose those 2 sources of balance support, okay? When I lift either side up, you want to stay as still as possible throughout your torso, okay? Now, whether that's true, whether I'm in the chair, okay, doing the elevated version, and I did that wrong, there we go, or if I'm on the floor, okay? I just screwed up my own exercise. So, let's knock out the upright row first. I know I'm going pretty fast, but I want to squeeze everything in today for the first time this semester. So, I'm gonna find my slightly athletic position, okay? Not down here, but not straight up and down either. You've got 8 reps in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Pull up to the armpit, drive the elbows up, and back down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. That's our first set of that upright row right there. Remember, that's with the heavier dumbbells, and we're creating that pouring the coffee position, right? So I'm gonna do the elevated version of the quadruped for the first set. Remember, it's just 20 seconds, all right? So I've got my modified burpee position. I'm walking my feet out. I don't want to have my feet up too close to the chair if I'm elevated. So walk your feet out. Stay comfortable here. And remember, we're alternating. Right arm, left leg. And then left arm, right leg. All right? We'll get started here in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. Opposite arm, opposite leg go out together. There we go. Very good. We still got a couple seconds left here, class. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Now, our last set of the upright row here, class. I'm going to do frontal the whole time just to really show that coffee pouring position. All right? So we've got 8 more reps together in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Coming up and back down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. We can put those heavy dumbbells away here, class. And now I'm going to do the quadruped from the floor here to finish up. I'll do a side view here. We've got 20 more seconds. I want to make sure I give everybody a couple seconds here to get situated. We're going to go ahead and get started in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Go ahead. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Come out together. Keep your torso as still as you can. You can hear my voice is changing as I'm sticking my limbs out, right? This is a tough exercise for the core. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. So that's all that I have for the resistance training set. I'm checking my time. I still need to fit in my cardio and my cool down. Now, I've been making my cool down shorter, so all this stuff fits in. All right, grab a sip of water. Let's go over our cardio set. So, first exercise, it's kind of convenient that I had the quadruped today because I want our first exercise for the cardio to be that modified burpee. Okay, so I'm in that same position I started for my elevated quadruped. Now I have the option, I can step back and step up. Don't forget your clap. Or I can hop back and hop up. Once again, don't forget your clap, okay? That's gonna be 3 sets of 45 seconds. Now, the exercise that I want to pair with that is gonna be our step over, okay? And I shouldn't have changed my camera view. I should have kept it where it was. There we go. Now, with the step over class, we're going to imagine that we have a line on the floor. Just a nice, straight, thick line on the floor. Maybe you have a line like that on the floor. But we're just gonna work on finding a good athletic position. We're gonna step over and step back, okay? The cadence that I like is over, over, back, back, okay? See how I'm keeping my feet nice and wide, all right? I have a great, steady, balanced posture here, right? I'm keeping my feet out wide, making sure I stay nice and low, and finding a good pace, all right? Those are all the ways that we can modify that. Don't forget, we can also go quicker, all right? So let's go with the modified burpee to start. We'll go 3 sets of 45 seconds here in 3, 2, and 1. Ready? Go ahead. I'm going to go with the step back here to start. Here we go, checking my time here, class. I'm gonna leave my stopwatch on the chair. That way I might be able to see it better. There we go. Keep that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth here, class. All the way through the set. We still got 7 seconds left, class. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Find that line. Step overs. Go ahead and go right into it. Remember, you can alternate which foot you start with, right? Maybe you want to start with the left foot instead of the right, or vice versa. There we go. Keep your posture here too. We don't want to get too rounded over here, class. We want to keep that big chest. We want to keep the shoulders pinched. Checking my time. We still have 10 seconds left. Remember, modify this with pace, with distance on the step, or by getting lower. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Back to the modified burpee. Don't forget your clap as you go through this movement here, class. Very good. Keeping that pace. I can see bodies moving in that box. Nice job. Now, one thing to think about here too, class, alternate which foot you step back with as well. Doesn't have to be the same foot every time if you're doing the step back. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Step overs. Second set here, class. We'll finish this set, and then we'll go through each one more time. Then we'll hit the cardio. There we go. Keep that breathing here, class. We're already over halfway through the cardio. Keep it up. We're at the 2:45 mark. 15 more seconds before our next transition. Very good. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Modified burpee one last time. I'm going to do the hop back for the last set. Here we go. Hopefully whatever chair you're using at home isn't sliding forward like mine is. There we go. We got 20 seconds left here, class. Keep it up. Keep that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. 3, 2, 1. Relax and reset. Step overs one last time. Very good. Now my sliding chair actually alternates or changes how I do that hop back. So I think next time what I'll do, I don't really want to do this because I'm worried about hitting my head on that railing there, but I might just put my chair up against the wall. We'll see. Maybe I'll hit my head on the railing once or twice and I'll add it to a blooper reel or something. Keep it up here, class. 10 seconds left. Very nice. Keep that breathing. Keep that posture all the way through. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Very good. Grab a sip of water here, class. Catch your breath. Like I said, I've really been condensing my cool downs here to try to make everything fit, because there is a lot of stuff that's kind of crammed into this hour. I'm sure you've all noticed it as much as I have. Just a lot of different things we can work on, that we need to work on to stay healthy. 1, 2, 4 stretches. All righty, we can do it. All right. How we feeling? Good? All righty. Awesome. Let's go ahead and start our cool down. Just 4 stretches today, and we're familiar with all of them. All right, I'm going to go full screen. First one here, class, standing chest stretch at the wall. So we'll go 30 seconds on each side. Now, we did chest and anterior or front shoulder today, okay? So I really don't care which version of this stretch you do. If you do the arm straight back, you're gonna get more shoulder. If you go the arm elevated slightly, you're gonna get a little bit more chest, okay? And you'll get shoulder a little bit with both, all right? So just pick whichever one of those positions you're most comfortable with, all right? So we're gonna go ahead for 30 seconds here. Just imagine I have my wall there. I can even do a side view there. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. It's a good view. Halfway through this first set, class, and then we'll switch sides. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now let's switch sides. I would do the same thing on the left side that you do for the right, okay? So if you had your arms straight back for the right side, I would do the same thing on the other, okay? Go ahead for 30 more seconds. Remember that twisting away from the wall is going to elicit a little bit more of a stretch. Halfway through. Keep that breathing here, class. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Let those arms shake out a little bit if you need to. Now, the next one I have for us, class, is going to be our staggered stance quadriceps stretch. Remember, we can have our chair next to us or a wall for balance support. So I've got one leg up, one leg back. Remember, I have the back heel lifted, and I'm going to shove my hips forward. From this position, I'm going to bend my back knee and get that stretch to seep down the front of my thigh. Don't forget, class, we also have our standing quad pull, or we have our assisted lunge in the front of that chair, getting that leg back behind us, keeping that good posture, all right? Pick whichever one of those you prefer. We'll go for 30 seconds on each side, starting right now. Keep that posture, especially in this one. I think that this particular version of the quadricep stretch is going to be the easiest one to slouch down in, okay? 10 seconds left, and then we'll switch. I will do the staggered stance stretch for the second half of this one here. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Switch legs. That means I'm switching sides. Shove those hips forward. Bend that back knee slightly. Just like in our forward backward step position. There we go. Keep that posture here as well. We get a little bit of a balance challenge out of this particular version of the stretch, as well as that standing quad pull, right? A little bit more balance in there. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now, our last 2 stretches here, class, they can be done from the chair, okay? This one here is going to be our seated arm reach across. So I'm going to scoot to the front of my seat, and I'm going to make sure I'm sitting nice and tall. I'm going to pinch a shoulder back, and I'm going to bring that arm across my chest. Remember, we're not bracing on the elbow. We're on the forearm or the upper arm. And add that little dip in there if you prefer, and if you can keep your shoulder blade in place. Okay, we'll go 30 seconds on each side here. Oops. Go ahead and start with me if you haven't already. Get a good shoulder pinch before you start. That's really important. Keep that breathing. Make sure you're nice and stable if you're going to add that dip to your posture there. Oops. Still got 8 seconds left. I paused the watch by accident. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Shake that arm out a little bit if you need to, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to pinch that shoulder back really well, bring that arm across, add that dip if you prefer. Go ahead and start if you haven't already. Halfway through, keep that breathing. One more stretch after this one, and we're done for the day. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. Now with this last stretch here, class, I'm just gonna keep it simple, and we're gonna go with our seated hamstring stretch. We'll go double leg here. I'll turn to the side slightly. Remember, we should already be in the front of our seat. I'm gonna stick my heels out here, class. I'm gonna keep my back nice and flat, and I'm just gonna get a good forward lean. Go ahead and start with me if you haven't already. We're gonna do this one for 40 seconds. Again, just holding that hamstring stretch a little longer than the others, in my opinion, adds some good benefit to our stretches. We got a lot of work done today, class. A lot of movements. Halfway through, keep it up, keep that breathing. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, relax. Very good. That's all that I have for you for today, class. Thank you so much for participating.